I welcome you all to yet another session of Meditalks. We are celebrating National Doctors Day today, and on behalf of Rosart Health, I would like to thank the entire doctors fraternity for being a frontline warrior in this tough time of COVID and being just next to God for their patients. So today we have among us our two panelists, Dr. Saurabh Rawat from BMC HRC and Dr. Ankit Bansal from Fortis Hospital. I'll introduce both of them. Hi, Dr. Ankit.
Hi, Neeraj.
How are you, sir? Uh, Hi, Dr. Rawat.
Hi, Neeraj. How are you?
Hi. So I'll give a brief of both of them. Dr. Rawat has an extensive experience in face and body contouring procedures, and he is amply experienced in reconstructive surgeries. And Dr. Ankit Bansal is a pulmonologist and is well versed with all sorts of management modalities of respiratory medicine, and he has been a frontline warrior and treating COVID patients and doing his best to fight COVID, right? And helping the patients to overcome it. Okay, so let's move on to today's discussion. So today topic for today's panel discussion is impact of corona on non-COVID patient treatment. As you all know, due to corona, non-COVID patient treatments has been, not up to the mark, and non-communicable diseases they have killed more than 41 million people each year, which is equivalent to 70% of deaths which are taking place globally. And each year, 15 million people die from NCDs between the age of 30 and 69, right? And because of COVID, the non-COVID patient treatment has become a big problem. So I would like to ask my panelist, especially Dr. Ankit, what is the current situation of COVID and how international patients should take care about it?
Um, First of all, regarding COVID, it has been now more than a year that we have been encountering COVID. We could be or possibly we are in the end or in the ongoing phase of the second wave. Now, particularly with those set of health infrastructure, because our health infrastructure has been on the very narrow line time. It has been tested many times during this COVID times. Why? Because India is never known for its health structure, health infrastructure, as compared to the Western countries. So,
Right.
during this particular time, testing times of COVID, uh, there are lots and lots of patients who need hospitalization, particularly in the critical care. Critical care means critical patients setup, because they have been on various types of supportive element which is required in an ICU, and ICU beds as a limiting factor treating those patients. Now, definitely, those sorts which we called as non-COVID have been there with many non. They could be hypertensive. So I think so. My concern is that the many patients with chronic comorbidities like diabetic, hypertensive, cardiac diseases, neurological diseases, nephrological diseases. Now, these type of disease process maybe have taken a setback during the COVID times, because everyone was so much concerned about COVID that they were very pissed off. If anyone with these comorbid conditions may have them, they don't walk out or they don't concern doctors. Yes, telemedicine as a whole has given an empowering thing to them so that they could manage to an extent their home places. But yes, definitely this not take its part, because it is of its own kind. So this was a major. They always have a fear that we can contract COVID while we go to the hospital, or during the outside.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Rawat, I would like to know from your end, what has been your experience? How non-COVID patients have been treated during COVID times?
I'll give you a surgical perspective about this because I basically deal with the surgical patients. Now, if we see the surgical as a surgeon, if I see, then we can divide the surgery into elective, emergency, and semi-elective. Now, the emergency services are not yet disturbed because it has to be done anyway, anyhow. But the semi-elective, the elective surgeries, they have been totally been shut down during COVID era.
Mm-hmm.
But as we are evolving with this now, if you see the in wave 1 and wave 2, there is a drastic difference is there between the surgeries also. The reason is we are well equipped and we know the things better in wave 2. We know how to deal with them, and even the modalities and all the supportive systems are much evolved in wave 2.
Correct.
So I think as the time evolves, even the elective surgeries and the semi-elective surgeries will not be a problem.
Right. So, according to you, there has been a service disruption which has been widespread.
Sorry.
Reassignment of staff and postponing of this surgery and treatments has happened, right?
Yeah. Because the priority of the hospital shifts.
Correct.
If there is a lot of burden of COVID patients, then the elective system they obviously are less lucrative.
Correct. So, Dr. Ankit, what kind of health infrastructure is required and what is not there?
Non-COVID patient, if we categorize, there are two type of things. One is an outpatient and another is an inpatient.
Right.
Outpatient services, they need routine OP consultations along with the basic investigations that is required for their treatment or management part. In the inpatient, there are various software. It could be surgical patient or in the non-surgical patients. In the non-surgical patient, generally the hospital system has been devised in such a way that they do COVID screening of almost every patient. And if the patient is cleared of COVID screening, they manage accordingly to the medical conditions of the non-COVID patients. So since the load of COVID has reduced to an extent as it was previously in the month of April or May, particularly in the first of May, now the health infrastructure has slightly up for the non-COVID patients. Now, in that sense, the surgical patient is rightly said by Saurabh that they have been emergency surgeries has been running off. Elective surgeries is now coming up, and the concerned cities are doing now elective surgeries also. Number of cases coming down.
Correct. So, what I believe is main problem is that health services have been partially completely disrupted, right? And this is because of the lack of health infrastructure that we had. And I think almost all the countries have realized that because of COVID, the non-COVID patients have suffered a lot. Right? So,
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
I will not definitely call it as a lack of infrastructure. Basically, you need a demarcated space.
Correct.
A hospital which is dealing in COVID also and non-COVID also, both the things.
Right.
So one thing can be done at the high. Now there are certain hospitals which are dedicated non-COVID hospitals.
Right.
That doesn't deal in COVID. They can run from the functionaries of the non-COVID. So there could be slight different structuring for a non-COVID patients and the patients. So there's always a limitation in that. So accordingly, it could be done. We don't have a dedicated non-COVID hospitals because most of the facilities has been converted into the COVID dedicated units.
Correct. You're very right. So, Dr. Rawat, what is your take about the third wave? As we are listening that third wave is coming, how prepared are we for the third wave?
I think the facilities have improved a lot. Even if you see on a local basis, that the supply of the medicines and oxygens has been improved a lot in during last wave,
Okay.
and there is
Like there was a
practically
chaos in oxygen supply, beds. If third waves hits in, is the same thing going to
particularly
replicate?
oxygen. Yeah. See, oxygen was never a problem, but as in second wave, we encountered that many of the patients are there simultaneously. So therefore, our health system was facing some problems, and basically the problem was not oxygen; it was basically the supply of oxygen. How they supply the oxygen,
Okay.
because they have the oxygen, but they don't have cylinders.
Okay.
Now, in the meanwhile, now after a second wave, and we have seen a very deadly situation during second wave. Now, the health sector planning has been totally changed now,
Okay.
and they are basically focusing on delivering the essential services on a priority basis.
So, Dr. Ankit, you have seen it, like hands-on things going haywire, right? So, what is our preparation for the third wave, Dr. Ankit?
Basically, there are two things. One is the people perspective, another is the health infrastructure perspective. If we consider people perspective, COVID appropriate behavior is again the mask, social distance, sanitization. Uh, I think we are strict, still not as strict as we should have been in these type of COVID appropriate behaviors. Whenever there is relaxation in lockdown, really forget about COVID. So that is the one basic thing that is lacking, and most of the things depend on that. Because if the number of cases are increased and critical patients are increased, our health infrastructure cannot be built overnight.
Correct.
That needs to be developed. But still, as compared to the preparation of second wave, are much better preparation of possible third wave,
Okay.
because we are anticipating. We have seen the worst time during the second wave.
Right.
So now at least we have learned about the third wave. We have developed more infrastructure, which means expertise of doctors, the ground level staff, plus need of medical equipments, plus need of essential medications. I think these have been prepared right now in a far better positioning as compared to the preparation of the second wave.
Great. So, Dr. Ankit,
Also, the percentage of active and passively immunized people are now higher. We are not as fragile as we are in second wave. Our immunity level has definitely increased with immunization and the active infections.
great.
So the third wave is there, but if we uh, if we take all the precautions, I don't think it is so much. There won't be any so much chaos as anticipated.
Great. Dr. Rawat, I would like to ask you, what precautions should patients take? Those are non-COVID, basically. How they should plan their treatment during COVID times?
See, basically, it's all depends on the disease you are having. If you are having chronic diseases, majority of the patients, the patients are already in contact with the patient, with the physicians and the respective doctors, so
Right.
they can have very good online appointments.
Okay.
And it has to be implemented in habit. That online appointments and online system has to be improved.
Okay. So you mean
Telemedicine, as you
teleconsultation is going to play a vital role?
teleconsultation. Yeah, now it also improved a lot. Now, if we see that there are many portals now.
Right.
Before second wave, there were hardly any.
Correct. Correct.
So for the chronic diseases, I don't think there will be any problem unless there is an acute sequelae in those cases.
Mhm.
And for the acute cases, the hospitals are still running.
Okay. Great. So moving on to vaccination, Dr. Ankit, what is the status of vaccine and how effectively the vaccination is being done?
So India rolled out its vaccination program from 16th January 2021. initially, one vaccine which was available, that was Covishield, which is from the manufacturers from AstraZeneca, and they were produced in the Serum Institute, Pune. Then the urgent basis approval was given to another Bharat Biotech Covaxin. Now another vaccine from Russia that has been given approval, and now three vaccines in center market, maybe more than 10 active manufacturers in international circuit like Pfizer has been given approval in their circuit, and more than trials has been going on across. So in India, major vaccines, that is the Covishield vaccine. Consider the numbers. More than 30 crore people have been vaccinated with India, and around 4 crore people have been given both the doses. Now, 21st of June on, government have changed its policy, giving mandatory vaccination for above 18 years of age. And those who want to put their the private setup, they have to give minimal charges. So this has been a major step which is taken by the government to increase the vaccination drive. Important thing is that without vaccine, cannot control this pandemic. So the first and foremost thing for any patient, for non-COVID patient, if you are eligible and fit for the area for vaccination, get yourself vaccinated, because this is the first protective cover that is needed.
Correct. So it was really relevant information and enlightening information shared by you, both, right? And would you like to add on something, Dr. Saurabh, to this?
Regarding vaccination, is a must for each person, because as Dr. Ankit rightly said, it's a first line of defense.
Correct.
And this is at least what we can do for ourselves, or for our society, because as the immunity level increases within a society, the spread of the infection drastically decreases.
Correct. Correct.
So the immunization is must, and we have already anticipating that more than 30 crores will be immunized very soon. So as the immunization level of the society increases, as I already told you, that the infection rate will reduce a lot.
Correct.
At
Correct.
least the spread of the infection and the severity rate will reduce.
Correct.
So in part, the person who are even getting infected, they can get better services as the resources are less utilized.
Right. Okay, great. So it was really an enlightening session for our viewers, right? And once again, on behalf of Rosart Health, I thank you both for joining us for this session and making our viewers enlightened about the impact of corona on COVID patients. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you, sir.
For opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.